So here is the big board. The college football picks. I went 4-1 last week. Paul picked up a game on everybody, went 5-0. And my loss was the Oregon State loss to Oregon. I am still proud that I went with the Beavers. And then Craig had Utah in their game, which did not work out well at all.
Thanks, Utes.
Yeah.
What a showing that was. At least, let me be close.
Yeah, that was a sledgehammer, so to speak. So here we are, boring as hell, because up until like 30 minutes ago, every single pick from all five of us, every single pick across the board was chalk.
Now, I've gone back and forth on the third one, and I went back. I'm now fourth.
No, but I'm gonna be honest with you here. You only did that because Craig had the you-know-whats to then go, I'm flipping my Michigan-Ohio State pick.
I was staring at that board, and I was like, is this actually the picks? Like, is this – or the template? And everything was the exact same. And I just decided, like, I can't have it be the exact same. That's going to be boring. It'll be the same results next week as it is this week. So I flipped to Ohio State. I don't love the pick, but I'll take the pick.
Yeah. By the way, TexasBeefHouse.com, that link is good, all right, for a $100 gift card. And we'll do it, I believe, for the conference championship games and maybe 1 week later. I'm not so sure, but I know we have this week and then next week, and then it might be shut down. And thank you, Kim Coulter, for what you did with TexasBeefHouse.com.
So we'll start with the Civil War. All of us picked Oregon. It is in Autzen Stadium. That's why I did.
Would you not have picked Oregon anyway?
No. If they had back-to-back at Beaver Stadium, I think I would have. I think I might have picked Oregon State in this one, just because. You know, but that's the biggest difference.
But you didn't pick Oregon State at home against Washington, but you would at home against Oregon.
Yeah, this is it's rivalry week.
It's a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking Oregon. I think they're the better team. Being at home makes a massive difference, in my opinion, than if this were at Reeser, like we've seen all year long and almost last week as well. Again, thought that they were going to drive down, kick a game-winning field goal, and that's not what ended up happening, but they're still a really good team. What a great story for DJU and just the resiliency and, coming over from Clemson and all the speculation about how that would work out. And it's been a banner year for he and that Beavers football program. But, yeah, give me Oregon. I just think that they're on a different level right now. I think that they're a playoff team. Whether they'll become one or not remains to be seen because they've got to win some more games, the following week. But, I like Bo Nix and the Ducks, and I think it's going to be a terrific contest, but give me them at Autzen.
All right, then down below, Kansas State and Iowa State, Farmageddon, which is a rivalry that is going to be interrupted. Not a lot of people are happy about it. They're involved in both of those schools. Kansas State across the board.
Yeah, I just think Kansas State's better. They do. This is the best. This is the game in the Big 12. We did think that would maybe get the most variance among the staff. It has not. Everybody, including Levi, has picked Kansas State in this one. I thought about doing Texas Tech, but I think Tech's so bad on the road, we would all pick Texas. So
I would have picked Texas.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
Yeah. If Tech was better on the road, and Kim Coulter, I'm not dog talking Tech. I'm telling you, this. They suck on the road. So until they stop doing that, then I can't put them and pick them in a road game. So, but for this one, I just think Kansas State's better top to bottom.
Yeah, I think Kansas State's better. I think that, Tech did go on the road to Waco and win, and there was that at least.
So does everybody.
Yeah, but
did they play this year?
It would be like
they also beat Kansas on the road.
Look. People
that was
coming
a nice
into
win. That was huge.
People coming into Waco and winning on the road this year is like NBA guys bragging about banging a Kardashian. Like you've all done it,
true.
Man.
Right? Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. But they have won a couple as opposed to last year where it was basically non-existent. But yeah, I just think Kansas State's a better overall team. I do think Iowa State's got a really good thing going with Rocco Becht and just the way that that's building up moving forward. So I think that they're going to be really good, over the long haul or remain pretty good over the long haul. But right now, I think Kansas State's just a better program. Had Iowa State won last week and upset Texas, maybe I feel like that carries over somehow, but it's in Manhattan as well. Yeah, give me the Wildcats here to close it out and give themselves an opportunity to, continue to have a great run and a great follow-up to what was a terrific run last year.
Yeah, I'd take K-State. I really Iowa State had what they wanted at halftime, even though down 3 to Texas, and then Texas just kind of put on the jet. What do you want to call it? Afterburners, and eventually still not like a blowout, but they really kind of flexed who they were. I just feel like that was a game that Iowa State put a lot into. They're very consistent from week to week, but I'll take K-State.
All right, and this game, North Carolina State does not have a rivalry name. I was really surprised that everybody kind of has one, but look, it's as we've seen with Baylor and TCU, it's not always good just to have one or to go and make one. I'm picking North Carolina State in this game, and I went back and forth on this. My first choice was North Carolina State. Then I flipped to North Carolina. I'm back with State now. It's at North Carolina State. Dave Doran's a little salty. North Carolina has just hit the wall here at the end of the season. And I even with the Wolfpack's quarterback situation being kind of a roller coaster, I'm picking the Pack. I'll roll with it. You know, North Carolina's got Drake May and everything that seems better, but I think that North Carolina State might have the better coach right now in Dave Doran.
Blasphemy, you say that.
Well, NC State's won the last couple of these games, so it wouldn't be a huge surprise if they're able to win again, especially being at home, especially given they're on a much better roll right now than North Carolina is on. I mean, NC State's won 4 games in a row. They've won the last couple on the road. Now they're back at home. Both teams are 8-3. Yeah, I think that NC State's a smart pick. I don't even know what the spread is for this game, quite frankly. I didn't even look at that. But
I think NC State might be favored.
Probably are, but I don't know. Something's just telling me to roll with North Carolina here. I don't like the way things have kind of gone for Mac Brown and company here lately. It has been a struggle for them, but that kind of, I guess, plays into – you've got that great quarterback, right? And, like, these are the games. You got the great running back. Like, these are the games that you would –
And the receiver that finally became eligible.
And the receiver that finally became eligible. And I just feel like this is the game for that all to kind of come together in your big rivalry, go get a big win on the road and kind of make the not-so-happy feelings smoothed over a little bit. I don't know if that even makes sense, but it's been a rough year for North Carolina. I think this is going to be an opportunity to go get a big win, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so I think this is going to be really close. Like I don't think you could go wrong here. So I flipped tails and it came up Tar Heels.
2.5 to 3 point favorite, depending on which book you're looking at. Actually, North Carolina on the road favored against NC State.
Yeah, I like their firepower.
I took North Carolina. I didn't think much about that one. I just felt like that was not an easy pick. But I took the Carolina Tar Heels. All right, up to the last one, right?
We got 2 more.
2 more.
UTSA and Tulane.
Man, I hope Jeff Traylor doesn't get a copy of this link.
Well, you in your original picks that you sent to Levi, you had UTSA.
I know.
And then when you came in today, you told me Tulane when I made the.
Oh, no. I don't think I did. I'm going to find that. I'm going to find that email.
I mean, Levi sent me.
Levi can be really, really like just a troublemaker.
So
I'm going to find it now because I'm going to prove you wrong. But go ahead.
So just to be clear, Smokey didn't believe in Jeff Traylor in the first
place. That's right. Yeah, he doesn't believe in Jeff Traylor.
Man,
yes.
let me tell you something. I believe in a lot of him. And you know, who knows? Who knows when we'll be interviewing him soon?
So you picked Tulane, though, right?
Yeah, he did pick. Everybody picked Tulane.
Just to be clear.
Like it's official when the segment starts. So anytime I put it in the board, but at least Levi thought that you had UTSA, and then I always double check whenever it comes in and see if they want to change anything. But
like
this
you
game
and Craig did.
That this game is. Well, you might have done it too, man.
I made it
you
interesting.
have not proved it.
Otherwise, we're going chalk everywhere.
You have not proven.
There's no evidence that I picked.
There's also no evidence that you didn't.
I know.
Other than this, I have more evidence.
You have to prove I'm guilty. Levi has the email. He can send it to me.
This is America. It's guilty until proven innocent. We all know that.
Look,
yes.
Here's the deal. If we were in court and I'm the lawyer arguing this, I have evidence that Levi believes that this is what he has.
His testimony doesn't mean anything without an email.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, he'll be the deciding factor. He can provide the
I just feel like Tulane. I love what UTSA does, how they play. I love Jeff Traylor, Frank Harris. But I just, that game at home, I'm going with Tulane. All right.
Yeah, I mean, Tulane, other than a week 2 loss to Ole Miss, is unbeaten. right now. I like them a lot. They just hired a new AD, by the way. I
saw
think that
that
became official a little bit earlier, but really like Michael Pratt and what he's able to do and has done there for them for quite a while now. This would put him over in the championship game. And really this boiled down to me is not just the records, whereas UTSA's lost 3 games on the year, but it hasn't been super sexy. Like UTSA isn't always that way. Like they can be very much a rock fight type of a team. Frank Harris did have a huge game, home finale and all of that, but I don't think they're quite as good as they have been.
UTSA?
Yeah.
No,
the last couple years.
Yeah.
And they still got Joshua Cephas and, all sorts of fun weapons and everything. But I do wonder, does the Jeff Traylor thing impact this? Like, on the one hand, I could see where this would, like, really rev them up and have them wanting to finish this thing as strong as possible. And on the other hand, I do wonder, does, like, just a little bit of, creep into this thing?
They started slow and give USF, credit for that. They were good. Early on, their offense was clicking. The running game was good. And then UTSA just eventually wore them down. Maybe there's still the hangover of what's being done because Jeff Traylor's had to discuss it again throughout the week, and he's done a really good job of basically just nuking anything he says that leads to anything A&M. Yeah,
I just default to Tulane being at home, being slightly better from start to finish this year, like their defense, like their quarterback. I just like more about them, and then you throw in the Jeff Traylor kind of wild card of like I have no doubts his head is where it needs to be here. But for the players, like, is there any part of, you know what I mean?
No.
Any of that distraction? You'd hope not, but even still, even if that was a non-story, I'm still picking Tulane.
He is one of the things about him that whether he stays where he is or goes anywhere else, whether it's College Station or perhaps even if whatever happens in Waco, if something does happen with Dave Aranda in his future, he is an incredible motivator. That's the underrated part about him, not just the X's and O's and a football coach, but a great motivator. By the way, the Carolina-North Carolina State game should be named after flowering dogwood. That's the state flower.
The dance for the dogwoods. Nah, it's terrible. It's terrible. I don't know.
That's not the worst rivalry we've heard here of lately.
No.
Did you know that there are 3 species of dogwoods in Carolina? So they could have 3 different flowering dogwoods. The dogwood tree is one of the most beautiful trees. Hard to find, though.
Why are we talking about this?
Yeah,
because they don't have a rivalry.
I think they should.
And look,
trend.
Michigan, Ohio State, actually, I mean, they just get to call it the game.
Yeah, I know.
And because it's 2 gigantic schools with such tradition, we can't just be like, hold on. Do you get the? No, you get it. That's fine.
Yeah.
It works. It's fine. It's the game. They build it up so much.
Isn't that an 11 o'clock kick on Saturday? Yeah.
Yeah. It is, and that usually is.
They play whenever the hell they want to.
Yeah. It is. It's always going to be an 11 o'clock
cold,
kick.
Kind of blustery, miserable, overcast day. What?
Next pick.
Last pick.
Yeah.
Speaking of which.
Yeah. Speaking of which.
I took Michigan.
That's why I was trying to get you to get on the game. Yeah.
We got.
I'm not allowed to have any opinion.
No, you're talking about the game. Like, let's talk about the game.
Put them up. I took Michigan. I just think I think that they're going to continue on. I think Ohio State has really, as Angelique Shingella said, they're starting to play better, but I'll still take the Wolverines.
I mean, I picked Michigan to start off with. I looked at that boring, bland board of everybody having the same picks, and so I'm rolling with Ohio State. I do think I feel like Michigan's a slightly better team, but I do think there is something to Ohio State starting to get everything into a groove here late, winning big. This is a whole different type of a test for them, though. So yeah, I'm just banking on this rivalry being wacky and Ohio State somehow finding the way to win in the big house. But like I said, I did this as much to shift things and change them up as anything else. Wouldn't shock me at all to see the Maize and Blue win again. And if they do, what a story that will be. And if they don't, what a story that will be. Either way, there's going to be a lot of press about this game.
Yeah, part of me, was leaning towards Ohio State because of like what Angelique said about that defensive front against Michigan's offensive line. It's just Michigan's found a way to. I mean, and look at Penn State. They just kind of toyed with them in the second half and didn't throw a pass and didn't ever feel that they needed to. Like there was never a situation where they were like, "Well, we better get this first down because if we don't, then Penn State's going to get the ball back." They were like, "Well, we'll give them the ball back. That's fine. They can. It was almost like it's not fair to just not let them have the ball and play with it. It's not. That would be rude. They're, we're at their house.
Ohio State. I got to look. They're 19th in the country against the run.
Yeah. So that's going to be tough for Michigan to do. They're going to have to. They're going to have to throw the ball to win this game. I'm curious to see how Kyle McCord can do. I think this one is going to be a one-score game, but I think Michigan at home is the.
Remember now, of the stop rates at Max Olson, Michigan, Ohio State, and Iowa were like in whatever order, 1, 2, and 3. So they both play really good defense. Maybe Marvin Harrison's just too much. He makes a couple of extra special plays.
Yeah, but everybody acts like he just does like the 180 for 2 touchdowns every week, and that especially lately has not been the case. No. Yeah, but he does have that capability for sure. And based on my pick, I'm hoping he has one of those types of games, obviously.
Michigan has not played one single player this year. One single player on any team they've played that is as good as any of the skill players on Ohio State. And that's why I'm interested to see them in the playoff because, look, they've blown people out, like respectfully so. If you're a Michigan fan, I'm just curious to see, like, okay, Michigan plays, or say they play Oregon or Washington in the playoff that have guys that stretch the field and do crazy things. Well, they haven't had to see that all year. They haven't had to see it one time. As a matter of fact, they didn't see it all year last year either, except against Ohio State, and TCU took advantage of that.
Well, because TCU changed their signals.
Yeah, well, that too. But when they all of a sudden had to see Quentin Johnston and Darius Davis and Kendry Miller and Max Duggan all together doing those things, it was like, oh, well, this is a different style of football than we've seen. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't beat it and they wouldn't be ready for it, but it's completely different than when you have to shut down Rutgers. It's just not the same.
All right, so Craig takes Ohio State. I take Michigan. So does everybody else, including Paul.
I take the Ohio State.
Okay, there you are. So there we are. I have a 1-game lead on Craig. And then Emory is third, and then Paul, and then Garrett. Garrett's